Dr. Maduka on the show. We were talking about the fact where the federal government asked all states to halt the vaccination process because according to them we have shortage of these vaccines, and it's supposed to be a 2-dose thing. So when you take the first dose, you come back maybe 3 weeks to take your second dose. Now, because they find out that there's shortage, and of course India, which is the producing country for this vaccine, is saying they want to produce more for their country, their citizens. And even if they have to produce so much more away from their citizens, the European Union are demanding for a lot, which of course will affect a developing country like ours, Nigeria. So they had to tell them to stop. But of course we had analysts on the table. We had Godio Forse and we had Mazi, and they kind of said that there's a hidden truth to this. It doesn't, they are not just coming out straight. And of course from viewers, as I yesterday too, they said this is not happening because the federal government is not saying it as it is. What's your opinion about that?
I think they said it all. The issue is that in Nigeria, the problem we have, we don't plan. You know, before you do something, you must plan. For instance, when they gave us that number of vaccines, the first thing we need to do is first of all plan, okay, the first dose is going to be for so number, then the second for so number, because you are not sure of getting new vaccine. Mostly you're not the one producing it. So that is the first thing they did. But they never did that. They just opened the portal, everybody started vaccinating to the extent that even some people were selling it. So I knew we were going to enter into a problem because if you don't plan, you'll plan to fail. It means that, now let's assume we have 2 million vaccine that was given to us. The people that are supposed to take is 1 million. So that the other 1 million could be for the second dose. But unfortunately, we opened the portal, and I knew really from beginning that we're going to enter into this. Because I think when we're discussing it here with the DP, that was part of the thing I said. I said, look, it's not about just bringing this. It's about sitting down, plan the process, plan the initiation, then the implementation. But you know, when it came, the first day, second day, it was thrown open. The whole portal were open, where you're going to, I said, no, that's not supposed to be. Right. We're supposed to have sit down, look at the number, vis-a-vis the number of doses we could give to people, and then from there plan, so that when we get to that number, we shut down the website. But unfortunately, the whole thing escalated, and now we're in a problem, because those people that took the first dose, I'm sure, in the second dose is going to be very hard, except it's going to be the more you pay, the better you get the service. Otherwise, I'm seeing it not happening. And I thank Indians. If what I heard from India is, you know, it makes me to feel, oh, there's this country that has this patriotism about their citizens. They are citizens first before any other one. And that is exactly what we are thinking about. That's what we have been talking about in Nigeria. What is it that we can talk, and they say, government say, oh, this is my citizen first. For India to say that, in fact, I was so overwhelmed, I was really happy that a country could come out and say, look, my citizens first. Any other person can go to blazes. This is what we're supposed to imitate in this country. Yeah.
Okay, now still referring to the halt and all of that, we looked at the angle of maybe, just maybe, and you know, these reactions people get when they get vaccinated. Some, according to reports that got in with us today, where some of our staffs went to have their own vaccines, they said some persons got the vaccine and fainted. Some they started feeling feverish almost immediately. Now that brought us to a kind of, not a conclusion, it's more like an observation we brought on the table, like, okay, if this is happening to these people, let's look at it from this way. Now this vaccine is supposed to be kept under a particular temperature, and if there's a 0.0001 change in temperature, it affects the standard of the drugs. Now, how do we know that we are having these things at the perfect? You know, they were saying a story that somebody wanted to take, one of our state governors wanted to have this vaccine, and because the flax they used in bringing it was different from the one he knows it to be, he refused to collect. Like, I need to see, because he believes that when you transfer the vaccine to another, there's a swift change in temperature. Now, that could even be one of the reasons that people are reacting to all of this and all of that. What do you think about that?
Let me start with body systems. And that is one thing I've always said, look, you don't give vaccine, especially when now it's new, without first of all ascertaining the body system of that person. Let me give you an instance.
Okay.
You know, some people can drink a carton of beer and they feel nothing. But somebody can just take one glass and he's somersaulting. So that's the body system. So the things you're putting in your system is dependent on your body system. What can you take? Yes. So this vaccine has not been tested in a broad way to know, okay, out of 90 people, if we test this thing, if we have blood system of probably 3 or 4 sects, we can now ascertain, oh, this blood group has the tendency of reacting in this form. This blood group has the tendency, but you know, this is what we are giving is a blanket vaccination. So it is when you get to your system that the reaction starts. So that is the problem we're having. But in a system like ours, I think the first thing we would have done is, okay, before you do that, that's why I'm saying that planning is very important. We would have done a lot of research. Get all the body samples, do the test, and know the reactional effect on each body system. You know, like some people will get feverish. That is that person's body. Just like, you know, some people cannot take chloroquine. You know, if they take chloroquine, they can die, or they can. Same people cannot take amozine.
Right.
It's because of their body system. It doesn't mean that the amozine or chloroquine is not working. But that particular drug is not, or doesn't shoot their body system. So if you impute it in that person, there's going to be reaction. So this is the problem we're going to have in this initial setup in this vaccination saga. Until we sit down, and probably the WHO, which is what I want them to do, they will have done a thorough research on our body system. Secondly, this vaccination was formulated in certain format. One, the Europeans were taken into consideration, and that's why you talk about the temperature. Okay, our temperature is different.
Different from theirs, yeah.
Let's assume that we have near the same temperature with India. But India is producing based on the standard given by WHO. So if they are going to ship it, they are going to ship it based on world standard as given by WHO. And what is WHO going to give to India? It's going to be European standard. And then what that means that whatever is being given to us, because it's not tested yet in our system, is going to have the same effect as Europeans. Of course, our body system is not the same. You can imagine somebody who is in Iceland and somebody who is here. There's
a big difference. Yes.
You're frozen. You're in a freezer, kind of. And somebody is here who is in oven.
You know, the heat, in Lagos these days is even much.
So the body systems are not the same. So that is why I wanted our Nigerian scientists to go deeper, to do more research on what is given to us, so that we can know which of this is appropriate to our own environment and, of course, our own body systems. Yeah,
very true. Well, we also talked about, our government exploring other options. It's not just only Kodak that we have. We have all other vaccines. Why are we not doing that, or why are we not producing that? There are some funds that was allocated for this research. There is no results. There is no vaccine. So what's going on? We talked about that.
No, it's not about there's no result. It's not that there's no vaccine. I think it's just the inferiority complex of Nigeria. The government never recognize or appreciate what Nigerians are doing. Yeah, I think there's this about the prof that gave the Oyo State, kind of a dozer how you can tackle COVID, and that is working. But I was thinking that the federal government could now tap into it. But this issue about tribe, race, where somebody is coming from. I think it's really dealing with us. We've not really seen this country as a system whereby if you can produce something I know is going to work, I will take it without bias. So until we come into that realization, like, look, Nigeria first, any other thing is second. Zero. Yeah. That's the problem we have. We have Nigerians, we have come up many times, even NAFDAC has approved some of them. And don't forget that vaccination is different from curative. If you are already infected, if they give you that vaccination, it doesn't work. Yeah. In fact, it mutates your body system. It will even create more problems to you. Yeah. But if you are infected and you are treated, then before vaccination is okay. But what we're having now, nobody is sure. Just go there and you don't even know who is positive. And don't forget that some people that have it and you won't know. So they are carriers. So they will not know. But when they put this in, then the whole thing will evolve. So we have a lot to do vis-a-vis looking at our own system and understanding that we can't produce something that will work for us. For instance, malaria medicine, I'm telling you, most of Yorubas do not take English medicine.
They take herbs.
They take herbs, and it's working for them. So why can't we, for once, try to appreciate what we have?
You know what, to round up this COVID-19, just on what you said about malaria, I was talking to someone recently and the person possibly almost collapsed because she had typhoid and malaria, but a higher percentage of typhoid. Now she was taken to the hospital, you know, administered drip and, you know, injections with drugs and all of that, which she took for about a week. Then after that, she now came back, she was like, I don't still feel all right. I still need to go and take herbs to flush my system. I was like, oh wow. Like after spending like 1 week in a hospital and yet you still believe this herbs. The thing is, I know drugs will remain drugs, they will work and all of that. But there's something about herbs, there's something about when you call something natural. There's something, it's just different. And I believe if indeed we've probably, you know, had to do our own research about the herbs and everything that we have, because we are gifted here. I'm very sure this will probably have been something where we don't probably have to import and all of that. But, you know, it has happened and we are still hopeful that we get more vaccine into the country.
Media has a lot to do, because the issue is that when we hype the English medicine, and you know, it's unfortunate, some people call it traditional. They say it's traditional medicine, you know, just to give it an epithet that it's so demeaning. And they say, that's orthodox. It's just a name, it's just a coinage. I'm telling you, our forefathers lived longer. And they are sound and everything. You see, most of these things we take, if you don't know, most of them are drugs.
Of course, they are chemicals.
Chemicals. I mean, hard drugs.
Of course, I know.
And chemicals. And these things are the things that are given. When you see a young man, let me just, I'm sorry to use this example, a young man of 30, 20, going to buy enhanced drug. I keep asking myself, enhanced drug at 30, 20, you know, you are supposed to be vibrant. So you keep asking, but these are the things that our old men, when they are even 70, 80, they don't need a hand.
They don't need it.
They are all ready to go, because what they take is natural. You go to the farm, you go to your backyard, you pick it and you take it. We must try to see how we can develop our own.
Right.